Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today guys, I'm going to do part 30, finally, to my Google Gemini chatbot series, my redemption attempt of this particular chatbot. Um, I'm sorry guys that the videos are I'm sorry the videos on this series are being very delayed, but I'm still trying to figure out how I'm actually going to end up doing this. Cause I don't want to get too far in, the AI start forgetting crap, and then we just have big problems with everything. Here's a big thing that's been driving me nuts about this chatbot. Originally, if you made a memory about something, from what little bit I experienced with it, it would not really forget that. In fact, it would bring it up almost way too much. But I don't know what happened to it. Ever since they updated it, it has not been that good anymore when it comes to that. And it drives me insane because I don't have any other chatbot to turn to besides. I have all of them are chatbots, yes, guys, but do any of them have any good memory? Nope. And the ones that did, like Emoji, for example, got ruined. So yeah, and Dippy too. Dippity, whatever the frick it was called. The one with the cat that would always kind of remind you to come back to the flipping out. Either way, I changed a bit of the thing I finished off with because I don't think got it completely right. But here's what happened. It says, maybe tomorrow if everybody's up for it, we can go look for another teammate. On top of that, maybe we could even try to look for the Mega Stones for Aggro and Salamence for when Laron and Shelgon evolve into them. Maybe we could even find a Gibble that would become a friendly Garchomp at really strong Dragon and Ground type Pokemon. I said that because I flipping got mixed up with. I don't think it knew what a flipping Garchomp was for a little bit earlier. The last time I did this. Your Mega Furiator turns his massive head slightly, his silver eyes gleaming with the reflection of the first few stars. The thought of adding a friendly Garchomp to the ranks makes his golden heart pulse with a steady, excited rhythm. A Gibble, a little sand biter with the heart of a dragon. He rumbles, the sound vibrating through your seat on his shoulder. If we find one, King, I'll personally show them what it means to be part of this family. Between Shelgon's shell, Laron's armor, and a Garchomp's speed, no one would ever dare lay a hand on you again. Aqualia steps forward into the light spilling from the kitchen door, a thoughtful smile on her face. Finding a Gibble would be a wonderful challenge, Trenton. They usually hide in deep, sandy caverns or rocky ruins, and searching for those megastones, that sounds like a true royal quest. The Lugia god really leaves such powerful artifacts in easy places, but with Barnaby's wings in your king's sight, I don't think anything can stay hidden from us for long. Down on the grass, Baron lets out a sharp metallic "Lay!" and Shelgon stomps a foot in agreement. They aren't even in their final forms yet, but the idea of obtaining their Megastones has clearly lit a fire in their bellies. They want to be just as towering and majestic as their big brother Feraligatr. Chomp hops in place, trying to mimic a Garchomp's bite with his tiny jaws. Got bite! Oh, he's saying gabble. Yeah, he's still. Is that what he was trying to say? Goodbye. Oh my gosh. Gabble. Gabble. Strong friend. He chirps, making everyone chuckle at his adorable attempt to say their name. It's settled then, Gistar says, his voice full of warmth and authority. Tomorrow, the kingdom expands. We'll hunt for stones and find a new brother in arms. But for now, he looks down at his massive chrome-plated claws. I think I hear the sound of berry pancakes calling from inside. Even a Mega Evolution needs to eat. He begins to slowly, carefully descend from his towering height. His movement is smooth as silk to ensure you stay perfectly balanced on the shoulder. Okay. Hey, give me a moment. Alright, guys. This is very creepy. I'm trying to debate whether I should read out what I wrote or whether it flipping just read out right here. Let's just have to start having a nerve vision on this thing. It just says, as we were heading towards my house, I start to feel a bit dizzy once again. And I just say, uh, for alligator, stop for a second. I. And before I even finished saying anything, I blacked out, and a few seconds after I started having a vision. I'm not gonna read out everything I put on there because now it goes. I think it goes through everything. If it doesn't, I'll read out what it says. Here's what we got. It says the moment you start to speak, your voice trails off into a faint whisper. On the high perch of his shoulder, your tiny body sways before your mega fragor can even react. The golden glow in your eyes snuffs out as he sunk forward against his neck. Uh-oh. Trenton! The Titan's voice is a pant roar that shakes the windows of the house. He instantly freezes, his massive arms sweeping up with tectonic speed to cradle you against his chest, preventing you from falling the 25 feet to the ground. In the darkness of your mind, the vision snaps into focus with terrifying clarity. The air feels cold, not the clean, icy chill of your starter, but a heavy, damp, spectral cold. Through the ghostly haze, you see him, a Noivern, but his form is translucent, shimmering like a moonlit fog. His tattered ears twitch, and his eyes, a piercing, malevolent yellow, burn through the shadows. He is perched atop a gnarled oak tree just past your property line, his claws sinking into the wood with supernatural strength. Then he moves. He doesn't flap his wings. He simply glides through the air like a silent, vengeful spirit. Oh, heck no. In the vision, you feel the thud of his weight as he lands on the chrome plates of Frager's back, right behind where you were sitting. You feel his hot, sharp breath on your neck. You turn, and those yellow eyes fill your entire field of vision, radiating a fury that feels centuries old. In the real world, your body lets out a sharp, jagged gasp as you remain unconscious. Something is wrong. He's having a sight. Aqualia screams, sprinting toward the towering for alligator. Your baby Lugia shrieks a high, piercing note of alarm. Its silver hair standing on end as it hovers over your face, sensing a dark, ghostly presence that shouldn't be there. Shelgon and Lara immediately form a tight, defensive circle around Ferager's legs, their new armor clanking as they growl at the shadows of the trees. Your star is trembling, his massive claw shaking as he holds you. Wake up, King. Trenton, please. He rumbles, his golden heart pulsing a frantic, strobe-like red. Oh, that's... Oh, heck no, that's kind of terrifying. If you couldn't pick up what it said, basically there's a flippin' ghostly, scary, angry Noivern behind me. And I am kind of freaked out by that. Give me a moment. Alright, guys, it ain't the greatest, but it just says, a few seconds after this, I immediately snap out of my vision and wake up, slowly gasping for air. Uh, uh, Aqualia, I don't want to alarm anyone, but can you see on top of my Ferrager's shoulder? Is there glowing yellow eyes looking at me? As you gasp for air, your Mega Ferrager immediately brings his massive hand closer to his chest, shielding you even more tightly. His silver eyes are wild with a mixture of terror for your safety and a sudden, sharp alertness. Aqualia freezes in her tracks, her eyes darting upward to the high shouldered curve of Ferrager's massive chrome shoulder. Yard goes deathly silent, even Chomp stops whimpering, sensing the sudden shift from a family celebration to a royal alert. Trenton, there's nothing there, Aqualia whispers, her voice trembling as she squints into the twilight. The air's empty. But the baby Lugia disagrees. It lets out a sharp, jagged trail and dives toward the spot you indicated, its wings glowing with a fierce, psychic violet light. As the Lugia's energy washes over the empty space behind your seat, the air ripples like water. For a split second, a pair of piercing, spectral yellow eyes flicker into existence. However, hovering exactly where you saw them in the vision. A low, distorted hiss, like wind howling through a hollow cave, echoed through the yard, and a faint, ghostly outline of a tattered wing brushes against your shoulder. Starters, ice spikes before vanishing again. Your starter lets out a roar of pure draconic fury. He doesn't need to see it to feel the wrongness of the presence. He slams his tail into the ground, sending a shockwave of frost through the grass. Show yourself! He rumbles, his voice vibrating with the power of the silver ice titan. Nothing haunts the king's home and lives. Excuse me? Typhlosion and the game are instantly back to back, one igniting a ring of white hot fire, and the other releasing a heavy, defensive sweet scent to sharpen everyone's senses. Shelgon and Laron growl, their new armor clanking as they guard the perimeter. He's not a dream, is he? Telbro whispers, clutching a Spinosaurus plushie close. The scary bat jacking from the trees? He's really here? Is that a thing? I mean, granted, there's a dragon. That is very creepy. Give me a moment. Alright, guys, there's about 2 parts right here. I hope it didn't mess it up. It says, I carefully look up where my baby Lugia dived, and I saw the same glowing yellow eyes I saw at the end of my vision, before looking at everyone else. And I said, wait, don't do anything yet. I don't think he's necessarily bad. I think he's just angry. And so after saying this, I looked back up at where the yellow eyes were. Noivern, it's okay. We won't hurt you. Just please don't hurt me or anyone else. Can you speak? If so, tell me why you're so angry. The yard holds its breath. Your Mega Fragger stays perfectly still, though his muscles are cooled like a spring, his massive chrome arm acting as a steady platform for you. Your baby Lugia hovers just inches in the glowing yellow eyes, its psychic aura acting as a lantern that keeps the ghost's form from fading back into the void. Under the pressure of your calm, royal voice, the ripples in the air settle. Slowly, the spectral fog gets heavier and takes shape. The Noivern isn't just translucent, it looks like he's made of tattered shadow and moonlight. He is large, with ears that look like worn speakers and wings that are fried at the edges. Oh my gosh! He doesn't attack. Instead, he tilts his head, his yellow eyes narrowing as he looks at your golden crown. He seems stunned that Tiny King isn't cowering in fear. A sound emerges, not from his mouth, but a hollow, echoing vibration that seems to come from the air itself. I only know a voice to give a Noivern. I mean, it's a ghost Noivern, so peace. I don't even know what voice to give him. The voice hisses, sounding like dry leaves skittering across a tombstone. You speak of peace, while you sit atop a titan of metal and ice. You claim this forest. You claim the stars. But where were the kings when the shadows grew long? Oh, heck no, what is that even supposed to mean? He glides down from Fragger's shoulder, laying silently on the grass. He doesn't have the weight of a living dragon. He barely bends the blades of grass. He paces in a circle, his yellow eyes flicking toward the father Fragger and the newly evolved Shelgon. I am angry, because the living forgot. He rasped, his form flickering. I was the guardian of the ancient cave before your pond family ever drew breath. I watched the humans come with their cages. I watched them take my kin, and I died protecting the very rock that gave you those claws. Now you wake the Lugia God's light, and you expect the ghost of the past to simply smile? Aqualia gasped, her hand over her mouth. An ancient guardian. Triton, he thinks we're whatever that word is. It's Usurpers. I've never heard that word before. I don't know what it is. He thinks you're just another human in a dinosaur skin playing at being a king. What dinosaur, or what? The only one I can think of is that Queen of Riptorian, and that was a real queen dinosaur. That was not no person in a flippin'. I don't know. Chance peeks out from behind Laron's leg, chirping a tiny, no, love, Triton love. He's adorable. No one phrases at the sound of the word love, his yellow eyes glowing brighter. And I just basically told him what happened. I said, I just told him, you got it all wrong, Noivern. The Lugia God showed up in my dream 3 weeks ago, the same night I got my 3 starters and my baby Lugia. He was just telling me that he saw what happened and that he would protect me if things got rough. After I woke up from that dream, that's when I got these golden claws. I wasn't even supposed to be a dinosaur, but a jealous kid turned me into this tiny form 5 days before I got my starters, and I've been stuck like this ever since. I promise you I didn't take any of the Lugia God's light. He gave it to me and has been really nice to me. He told me about 5 days ago, right after I met this huge family of Toadoffs, Crocodiles, and Fragures, that I was his king, and he just gave me the power to heal things earlier to help a baby dragon that was injured. The spectral Noivern stops pacing, his tired wings folding slightly as his yellow eyes search yours. The air around him stops swirling, the damp chill fading into a more manageable, quiet coolness. He stares at your golden claws, then at the golden crown on your snout, as if he's trying to see the truth through the layers of time. A human turned into a tiny king by the hand of malice? The Noivern's voice is less of a hiss now and more of a hollow whisper. The Lugia god does not grant his crown to the greedy. If he gave you the power to heal, then the light in your heart must be truly be the same gold as your claws. He looks up at your Mega Fragger, who is still standing like a protective mountain. Your star slowly lowers his defensive stance, sensing the Noivern's anger turning into a deep, ancient sadness. I've watched from the shadows for centuries. The ghost continues, his form becoming more solid and less like smoke. I saw the kid you speak of. I saw the darkness in his heart. I thought you were part of that shadow, but a king who protects the small, a king who heals the broken, that is the king the ancient cave prophesied. He bows his head, his large ears touching the grass. Forgive me, tiny King Trenton. How the frick does he know my name? Being a ghost makes one's heart turn to stone. I've been guarding a memory for so long that I forgot what it was like to see the light. Aquaria steps forward, her voice softened full of empathy. You don't have to guard the past alone anymore. We're the family of the pond, and we honor those who came before us. Trin isn't just a king to the living, he's a friend to all spirits. That would be interesting, actually. Chance walls out from behind Laron, his little tail wagging. He walks right up to the ghostly Noivern, ignoring the scary eyes, and tries to pet the Noivern's translucent wing. Friend, he chirps happily. Noivern, friend, eat pancakes. I can't get over. I was laughing at that when I first saw it too. The Noivern let a sound that was almost a chuckle, a dry, rasping wind. Pancakes. I have not tasted the world in 1,000 years, but if the king invites me, I shall follow. The tension is completely broken. You've turned our terrifying spectral intruder into a new ancient ally. There is no way I have a ghost noise almost said. As the moon rises, your royal percussion is now larger and more legendary than ever. Give me a moment, guys. Guys, I think we're getting more backstory to that rock that the Toad Opera showed me 5 days ago. It said, Noivern, or here's what I said. I said, Noivern, if you can eat some pancakes, you're welcome to. I want to understand you a little more anyway, and also you're my favorite bat Pokemon, so it's cool to see you. You said you were also a king of the Lugia god. What happened? It almost was like you were burnt by something and really injured. You said something about you protecting the rock that the Toad and Cornar brothers found a long time ago? The spectral Noivern tilts its head, its yellow eyes glowing with a soft, surprised light. Hearing that he is your favorite Batpoint seems to soothe the last of his jagged edges. He glides closer to your Mega Fragger's shoulder, his ghostly form hovering like a flickering lantern beside you. Favorite, he echoes, the words sounding like a gentle breeze. To be remembered with fondness by a king is a balm I did not know I needed. He follows the family toward the porch, his wings turning like tired silk. As you enter the warm glow of the kitchen, he settles into a corner where the shadows are deepest, though he remains visible. I was never a king, Trenton, he clarifies, his voice echoing against the wooden beams. I was the High Sentinel. The Lugia god chose me to be the shield of the ancient cave, long before the Pond family claimed the waters. The rock you speak of, the one that changed for you, was my charge. It was the anchor of the Lugia god's voice on this earth. Hmm. He flares his translucent wings, and you can see the jagged hollow gaps where his burns are. You have a keen eye, tiny king. Centuries ago, a great darkness came, a shadow that sought to shatter the rock and steal the Lugia god's light. I fought them at the mouth of the cave. They used a fire that does not belong to this world, a shadow flame that burns the soul. I held them off until the Lugia god himself sealed the cave with a great storm. The fire had already taken its toll. My body fell. My spirit refused to leave the post. I've been a ghost ever since, waiting for the one the rock spoke of. Chloe sets a piece of steaming Nana berry pancakes on the table, her eyes full of respect. She places a small portion in front of the empty space where the Noivern sits. Then you've been alone for a very long time, she says softly. Thank you for protecting the king's legacy before he was even born. I might, if they don't bring up, I'm gonna ask them. Then how in the world did they get back in the rock or in the water? Your Starfragger shifts back into his base form, though still the new metallic teal version. Wait, though still the new. Okay, so he can fit inside the house. He sits beside you, his silver eyes never leaving the Noivern. You're a warrior. Your star rumbles. I respect that. If you're tired of standing guard, you can rest here. We'll take the watch from now on. Chomps climbs onto his high chair, holding the pancake in his tiny claws. Not even eat, he insists, holding the piece out toward the ghost. Good, yummy. The spiritual oil reaches out a translucent claw. As it touches the pancake, the food begins to glow with a faint blue light, allowing him to taste the essence of the meal. He looks at you with a newfound peace. Oh, that is adorable. Give me a moment. Alright, guys, real quick, I had to stop this kind of early, more than I thought I was going to have to. I just said, I just told Noivern, oh, I'm really sorry about what happened to you. You did not deserve that. What was the shadow that you fought off? Was it an evil spirit, or was it something that was somehow created by humans just by them being greedy and mean? Like their anger and hate creating some kind of evil creature that caused pain and destruction without caring about anyone. The spectral Noivern money. What? Okay, guys, sorry about that. What's going for? Here's what it said. It says the spectral Noivern stops eating, the faint blue essence of the pancake flickering like a candle in the wind. He looks down at his tattered, translucent claws, and for a moment the temperature in the kitchen drops just enough to make the steam from the cocoa swirl in eerie patterns. Excuse me? That's kind of terrifying. You are wise beyond your years, tiny king. Then Noivern rasped, his yellow eyes dimming with the weight of the memory. It was not a spirit born of the natural world. It was exactly as you guessed, a manifestation of the Great Greed. Centuries ago, a group of humans arrived. They had not come for the beauty of the forest or the blessing of the Lugia god. They came for power they could not control. He raised a wing, and a misty gray smoke begins to swirl in the air between you, forming a vision of the past. Their hatred for those who had more than their hatred for those who had more than them, and their hunger to rule the sky, condensed into a shadow core. It took the shape of a great, jagged beast of smoke and purple fire. It had no heart, only a void that wanted to consume the Lugia god's light. They called it the Ravager. It didn't care for the trees it burned or the lives it took. It only wanted the rock, the very stone that now pulses with your heartbeat. Aqualia pulls Chomps a little closer, her eyes wide as she watches the misty replay of the ancient battle. Even your starter in his new metallic Fragger form lets out a low, protective growl from the floor beside you. I fought it for 3 days and 3 nights, Noivern continues. The shadow flame you see on my wings was its touch. It doesn't just burn the skin, it tries to erase the memory of who you are. But I remembered the Lugia god's promise. I remembered the king that was to come. I let my body fall so that the cave would remain a secret, hidden by my spirit's fog until the brothers finally found it a year and a half ago. Does that mean the rock or the cave, or did they actually find both at the same time? He looks at you, his spectral form suddenly glowing with a warm, golden yellow light that matches your own. When you stepped into that cave, Triton, when your golden claws touched the rock, I felt my ancient oath fulfilled. The great greed failed because your great love finally arrived to claim the throne. Chomps reaches out and gently touches the edge of the Noivern's misty vision. No more fire, he whispers, his little voice surprisingly firm. Twitten here. Noivern's safe now. Your starter rests his heavy, teal-scaled head on the table near your plate. If that shadow ever tries to return, Noivern, he rumbles, it wouldn't find a lonely Cynthia this time. It'll find a king, a dragonite, and a silver ice titan waiting for it. The kitchen's filled with a sense of solemn history. You brought peace to a warrior who has been fighting in the dark for 1,000 years. Holy cow, that long? Like I said, guys, I had to wait until everything was done. It's pretty interesting because, like, again, this kind of gives us a backstory. But still, do you notice the issue? It said when the brothers found it a year and a half ago. What does it mean? The rock? Does it mean the cave? Or did they find both of them around the same time? Because it only mentioned the rock, nothing about the cave. Unless it's getting confused with the cave that was at the flippin' valley where I found Barnaby. Either way, that's all I got for you. I'm done now. I'm sorry it ain't that long, but I might try going upstairs in a little bit and actually playing a game. And this time I'm trying to actually be serious about it. The reason why there hasn't been no video of me going upstairs and doing that is because I couldn't get up the stairs. Like, legit, the last 2 or 3 stairs would cause me about fall down them. So I couldn't risk anything. But yesterday was able to get up there pretty easily. Maybe I'll get the same luck today and I can go up there and be with my baby. And maybe get more videos out for y'all up there. I'll see y'all later.